Good morning. Hi.
Hi.
We are in Chucha Barber Productions offices in
Yeah.
Tallahassee, Florida. And although I own an audiovisual production company, I have been struggling with my resistance to technology. And unlike millennials or Gen X, I think that there are a lot of people that are my age that share a similar resistance. So sometimes you've asked me, why is that? And to be honest with you, I've struggled to come up with a reasonable answer of why do I resist technology? So here goes. This shares the name of a globally recognized company, and it happens to be a Macintosh Apple.
Cool.
And so, I'm taking a bite
Dramatic effect.
out of the apple. And I'm thinking that this might be the reason why I've been resistant to technology all along.
So you'll have to piece that together for me.
It's the proverbial story of Adam and Eve, you know?
Evil, huh?
Evil,
No.
sin. I'm just saying.
I think that's a stretch.
Maybe, okay, well, I'm just saying, maybe that's like my subliminal thing.
Okay.
All right, so
Let that go.
Ryan happens to be like my personal digital ninja. You don't mind my saying that, do you? Maybe a little bit. Well, that's all right. And although you can't see him, we have a friend in our videographer, Gerald Tooks.
Yeah.
And he's going to be piecing and editing and recording these segments that we're going to do.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that this is the first bite of the apple.
I like it.
Okay?
Cute.
All right. So it's really like a digital minute so that people like myself can better understand technology.
Anyone, yeah.
And it's going to be fun because Ryan promised me that it would be. And here we go. For Christmas, Ryan gave me a Google Mini.
Google Home Mini, yeah.
A Google Home Mini, right? And
She hears you talking.
she heard us. Okay. Hey, Google, did it snow today in Tallahassee?
Sorry, I can't help with that yet.
Hey, Google, is it going to snow in Tallahassee?
No, snow is not expected this week in Tallahassee.
That's funny. It snowed this morning.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. So when I gifted Chucha with the Google Home, on Christmas, she knew that it could potentially snow in Tallahassee today on Wednesday. And so she asked Google. She was so excited to hear what Google had to say. And she said, just as she said, no, it's not going to snow. But last night I was over at the house and she asked Google again, and Google said that it would
It
snow.
did.
And it did.
And
in
it
fact,
did.
snow this
It
morning.
did, in fact, snow. So here's the thing, Ryan. You know, one of the things I love the most about owning it is that you turned me on last Christmas to Spotify.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that again. You turned me on last Christmas to Spotify.
Yeah.
And I have loved being able to access music, oh my goodness, on demand. I'm truly one of the best gifts ever. And thank you. And I love being able to say, hey, Google, play Diana Krall.
Playing Diana Krall on Spotify.
It's just that easy. Come on.
Come on.
Google. There she is.
All right, well, that's just an example. Thank you, Google. Stop, Google. Hey, Google, stop. Okay, so the point of that really is that I do love at least one thing. But one thing that I'm not in love with is all the things that I've heard about, like Big Brother being in my kitchen where my Google Home Mini happens to sit. So what's the deal on that? Are they recording everything I'm saying in the house?
Listen, I'm not an expert at this. I don't know who's listening. Who
What
might
are you
be.
an expert
right,
on?
now, you tell me. I will share with you that the potential is that device could be transmitting what it hears. Now, whether or not that information or audio is being recorded and databased somewhere, I don't know. Maybe. But I'll share with you in the same way. You have a laptop open, and this particular laptop has a web camera, right? We know that web
scaring me.
Well, it's scary. That web camera can be accessed, essentially, as to whom or by whom, I don't know, government entities, individuals. It can happen. Your device can be accessed or hacked in a way where your camera could be susceptible. So it's recommended that if you have laptops with cameras on them, that you leave them, I call it clamshell, right? You leave them closed, or you could cover that camera with some tape or something. that's kind of the risk you take with a device such as this or an Alexa or what have you, that potentially these devices could be recording or hearing, conversations had anytime the device is on. But it's just like anything else. People can do certain things, but if you've got nothing to hide, right, what's the risk?
Okay, so other than asking the device about the weather, and I don't want to say her name because I don't want her to talk
Right,
back, but
so-
other than asking the device about the weather or asking the device to play a song for me, what other value could it possibly bring into my life?
Sure. Well, depending on if you've integrated your email account or your calendars with, say, Gmail or Google, right? Because this happens to be a Google product, though it has the ability to function with other types of platforms if you have Outlook or other third parties. And the same holds true for other listening or devices like Alexa or what have you. So, for example, you could say, hey, Google, set me a calendar alert for 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Okay, alert today at 3 p.m. Do you want to save this?
No, thank you. So that's just an example of a way in which...
So where did that go? Did that go to my phone or my computer?
It would have if I would have saved it, right? So what it does is essentially it syncs together all of the various...
All right, thank you. So that's just an example of a way. And where did that go? Did that go to my phone or my would have if I would have saved it right? So today at 3 p.m.
Hey,
Thanks, Google.
Hey, Google, stop. So, yes.
Sorry, do you want to save this event?
No, thank you.
No.
What do you want to change?
Nothing. Cancel.
Okay, I didn't save it.
One point that I do want to make is that so many people have this perception that you have to communicate with these devices in a way other than which you would speak to, say, a human, right? I encourage everyone to talk to these devices just as you would be talking to me. And the reason why is because that will actually make these devices smarter over time. They'll learn your vocabulary, they'll learn your language patterns, and it will be almost more specific to you, the more frequent user, than, say, me, someone who just becomes in contact with that particular device infrequently. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But back to your question, what are some of the other things you can do? I gave you an example. You can create calendar alerts, you can create notes, you can create grocery lists, and all of that information will sync to whatever device is paired with that device. Does that make sense?
Yeah, now you're talking to me. Grocery list, yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
So your phone has an app that comes with the device, right? You download it to your smartphone, and then those two devices essentially speak to one another. Your other apps and tools within the phone also communicate through those portals, if you will. Is this making sense?
Yeah, and because I'm kind of talking to you as a representative of an older generation, I'm going to say one of the ideas that just occurred to me that maybe the device has a application for is I can list all of my medicines and things related to my medical care and then have it in my phone when I go to see the doctor and I don't have to take a plastic bag with all my prescriptions or something.
Sure, I don't know. One, I would caution you that if there's any sensitive information that you may not wish to share it so specifically.
Oh, come back to that Big Brother thing.
You kind of, listen, I have
You
personal
have mixed
feelings. I
feelings
do, a little
too.
bit. But I use it more so as an entertainment value, as a novelty, though it does assist, right, in transcribing certain things. Like you could craft a text message or an email, and you don't have to type or do anything. One of my most favorite things, and this was a gift that I was given this Christmas, was these devices pair with smart devices within the home. I was gifted with a Nest thermostat. And that's really cool because the Google Home allows me to set temperatures just by speaking with the device. So if I were at the house and I said, set the temperature to 74 degrees, it would. And so I wouldn't have to get up and change the thermostat. Much in the same way, if you have smart light bulbs that, again, connect to your Wi-Fi network, you can dim or set lighting just by talking to these types of devices. That's pretty cool.
Well, I just want to say that I'm not 100% convinced about the Big Brother thing. You know, that is a little disconcerting. But at the end of the day, hey, Google, play Keith Urban, Fighter.
The Fighter by Keith Urban, sure. Playing on Spotify.
So be careful, Big Brother. I'm a fighter.
I don't think we have the rights to these songs.
Stop, Google.
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google, stop.